Welcome everyone. My name is Morgan Hicks. I'm the graduate admissions advisor here at SUNY Plattsburgh. Tonight we're going to be discussing our data analytics master's program, and we have two of our faculty members here from the School of Business. Would you like to each introduce yourself, starting with Dr. Rampal?
Sure. Hi, I'm Rohit Rampal, and I'm a professor in the Management Information Systems and Analytics Department, and I also serve as the program director for the MS Data Analytics program.
Thank you. And Dr. Lee?
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Jason Lee. I'm a department chair of accounting, and also I'm the interim director of the Master in Accounting program.
Thank you. Hi, Ferris. I was just about to have you introduce yourself if you joined us. Ferris, you're a current student in the data analytics program. Oh, it looks like you're muted still.
Yes, sorry
There
about
we go.
that.
That's okay. Do you mind introducing yourself and maybe telling us where you're from and what you did your undergrad in?
Yeah, so hi everybody. My name's Ferris Weber. I did my undergrad here at Plattsburgh in supply chain management and business administration, and I'm from the Washington D.C. metro area.
Nice. And you are in your second semester of the program now, right?
I am, yes.
How's it going? You're in week 3.
It's going pretty well, honestly pretty smooth. I'm not gonna lie. The more practical application of everything is a bit easier than the um yeah, than the first semester. So yeah.
Good. Okay, so Ferris, I'll kind of ask you some questions as we go through the presentation, just to kind of give your perspective as a current student, so people can kind of get an idea of how it is for students in the program.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds good.
Thanks. All right. So this is our staff in the graduate admissions office. I just wanted to share because some of us do take appointments. So if anyone in the audience is interested in scheduling an appointment, Michelle, myself, and Grace all do one-to-one appointments throughout the week. So if you have some more questions after this information session, please feel free to reach out to our office. So what we're going to cover tonight is doing a program overview and some of the curriculum. Dr. Lee will talk about the benefits for accounting majors. We'll also talk about career opportunities, and then I'll talk about the admissions process and cost and some funding opportunities. And I'll also point out we will have some QR codes on some of our slides that will go to relevant web pages. So please feel free to scan those if those are anything you're interested in. And also we do have the Q&A feature enabled. If you have questions for the faculty, for myself, or for Ferris, please send those in through the Q&A. I think we might be able to do the chat as well. Let me change it to everyone, see if that would work. But either way, Q&A or chat, you can try either. And we'll try to get to some questions towards the middle of the presentation and then again at the end. So I'm going to move forward to this first one, which there's your first Q&R, your QR code. But Dr. Rampal, do you want to start with this one?
Yes, so the data analytics program is essentially designed uh, to provide the skills and knowledge for our students to be able to leverage the huge amounts of data that exist in organizations. And so we start from the very basics as to, how do we access and manage data, then how do we uh, interpret and visually present the data. We talk about how we can use data to, predict what is likely to happen. And then we also, have methodologies in there that help us make better business decisions. So it's quite comprehensive, and Faris will probably attest to the fact that you do learn a lot of right from the nitty-gritty to a big picture tools and techniques that allow you to make data-driven decisions.
Great, thank you. Do you want to take this one as well?
Sure, sure. So, so our program is cohort-based. It is 11 months if you go full time. And so what that means is that you are essentially with the same group of students in each and every class you take. And that allows for significant uh, connections and group synergies, and it allows students to essentially work in an environment where they are solving and working on complex mathematical and business problems, but they are doing a lot of stuff as a group. So you learn from each other in addition to learning from the faculty who teach in the program. So I think that is an advantage because it is intense. It is uh, uh, I think the learning experience is pretty good. Uh, and then in the second semester, uh, your graduating semester, you end up doing a pretty comprehensive semester-long capstone project, which we are starting out on right now. We are identifying, project ideas and what the students might be interested in working on. Uh, and for international students, this is a STEM OPT eligible program, which means that students are eligible not for just 1 year of optional practical training, but they can add on the 2-year STEM extension to that.
Great, thank you. So Ferris, um, Dr. Rampal talked a bit about the cohort and how they work together. How has that been for you? Have you enjoyed working with your peers, and how's the dynamic amongst the group of students?
Yeah, I think the dynamic, as with many classes, as with many, first time, you're in high school, you're in middle school, there's that initial awkwardness of just trying to like identify who's who in the class, try to pick up on, what everybody is kind of about, what they're trying to take away from, the program that they're currently in. But as the months have progressed on by, like everybody has, there's nobody that's like in the group that everybody's like, I can't stand them. Everybody is very cordial with one another, and the professors do a great job at, I guess you could say, forcing it. I guess that you're forcing each other to like work together in group projects, and getting to work with other people. Obviously, like you get to know them better. So yeah, the dynamic amongst us currently is quite lovely, and it's nice to show up to class every day. Wanting to interact with the people like in your program.
Good. And are you in the in-person program or the online program?
Yeah, the in-person program.
Nice. Thanks. Okay, so this next slide, I'm going to hand over to Dr. Lee from the accounting department. Dr. Lee, can you talk to us a bit about the benefits for people who are coming from an accounting background? Oh, you're muted, Dr. Lee.
Yep. Hi, everybody. For people interested in sitting for a CP exam with 150 credits, this master degree in data analytics will be a natural fit for you to add a different dimension to your accounting degree. And in this data analytics program, you don't have additional accounting credits. However, the data analytics skills will be critical in the industry trend for future accountants. So we have many students transition from our bachelor degree in accounting to data analytics program, you know, right after graduation. So this would be something for many people interested in this program to consider. And the courses, they're available in high flex format. So this means that the courses can be also available for our online accounting program students. So there are many possibility over here if you feel that you want to go to something more in depth in a data analytics world.
Thank you.
So, and we do have a question in the Q&A.
Okay.
I just wanted to address that. It says, so is this program designed to support students working a full-time job? If I plan to take 6 to 9 credits per semester, is that a common and supported path in this program? Yes, it definitely is. So we do have pathways. Uh, Again, if you go full-time, you finish in 11 months. If you want to go part-time, especially if you want to take 6 to 9 credits in one semester, then it will probably take you about 2 years to finish. But it works pretty well. In fact, if you're working full time, we definitely recommend that you try not to complete the program, full time because it can get pretty challenging. So, doing it 6 credits a semester is a perfect combination, and we definitely have that ability.
And I just want to mention too, Dr. Lee mentioned about the program being available in HighFlex. So for people that don't know, HighFlex means that the courses are being taught live in person. And if you're an online student, you can join via Zoom, but you can also, if you're not available to watch live, you can watch it after the recorded version of the
Mhm.
class. So that also makes it more flexible for people who are working full time.
Exactly.
Okay, so moving into the curriculum, Dr. Rumpal, would you like to go through, I mean, you don't have to go through all the classes, but if you
Right,
want to,
right. So
kind of discuss the curriculum here.
yeah, so the way the program is structured is that there are two foundational courses that students take in the summer. The Intro to Business Analytics that kind of gives you a a high level picture of what analytics is about, and how it fits into the modern uh, business world. And then the course, the management of information assets, essentially introduces us to databases and data warehouses and how we organize data in order to help in decision making. And then the first semester, the fall semester, we have the management fundamentals, the data visualization, data and text mining, and predictive analytics courses for those who are going full time. And if you're part time, then we adjust, and we have created a pathway for part time also. And then the graduating semester, the spring semester, optimization and simulation models that talk more about prescriptive, best case decision making or optimal decision making. The capstone that we've already talked about, and then two uh, specialized areas in which we offer more in-depth applications in social media and healthcare uh, analytics.
Thank you. Ferris, looking at your list of classes here, you're more than halfway through. What have been some of your favorite classes so far?
Honestly, the MGM 505, in terms of, you talk about getting to know your classmates, really well, and, working on projects together. Yeah, that's it probably been the highlight in terms of, I'd probably argue that all of us like within the program would put that at least in our top two, in terms of classes. Um, but then, yeah, I think, looking at this semester, that's like 560, 575, 580, and 590. All the classes, I think there's a certain level of excitement kind of around all of them, because everybody is so far has taken away something from each of the classes. So yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Okay. And then Dr. Rumpel, you're going to talk a little bit about possibilities for internships?
Right. So the way it is set up is that our students can do their internships. Some of them do the internship the summer before they start the program. Some of them are currently doing internships as they are in the program. And we've had instances of students who have done internships, in the summer following. Again, depends on what the student interest is, and where they can find time to fit the internship in. So a lot of the accounting students who transition into this program use the summer as the internship time. So they'll, do a 12-week internship or more or less, depending on their needs. And a lot of them already have a job offer by the time they start the master's program. So that works out pretty well. We've, you know, again, opportunities exist. Some students do not necessarily have the time. Some of them are working. Even if they are going full time, they are working, and so don't necessarily have the time for an internship. But I think an applied internship works very, very well, along with the coursework that you're taking.
Thank you. And then some of the different careers that people might move into after getting their master's. Can you discuss those, Dr. Rumpel?
Sure. Uh, Again, I would differentiate, and maybe Dr. Lee can talk more about the careers that the accounting plus analytics students gravitate towards. But the non-accounting students, I can say they have work. We see a lot of students move towards healthcare analytics, market analytics, financial or credit analysts. Those are the roles that they end up with. Quite a few of our graduates end up working for the state of New York. They work in state government. Some of them work in uh, education. So we so wherever data is used and needs uh, to be used for good decision making, our graduates end up being quite successful in that field. So but I would say consulting, healthcare, or insurance, financial, as well as market analysis, some supply chain management. We also have, again, depending on your background, we've had some students who come in with a computer science background and they are more on the data science side or AI kind of work. So there is, lots of opportunities, and it essentially depends on what you want to do and how you leverage your education and learning in order to, uh, again, get the job.
Thank you. Dr. Lee, is there anything you want to add more specifically about people who do accounting and data analytics?
Dr. Rempo pretty much summarized everything. I just want to add that data analytics basically is a tool. So you have
Yeah.
that tool to help you to do a lot of things. And people come into this program with a variety of backgrounds there. So some people are probably more into accounting and auditing, and also in accounting and auditing, where it's already a huge playground. So we have people in accounting, they become forensic accountant, or they do internal auditing, or they do external auditing, or they even do the AI auditing right now. So there are many things cool that can be done already in the business field, accounting field. And not to mention that the people with biology background or medical
Right.
background, they can do so many different things out there.
Right.
So yeah, so this data analytics thing, it's pretty much like a different dimension, and also it's still ongoing, evolving.
Mhm.
because all these AI things.
Right.
So it's yeah, it's very unique area and very interesting to explore in the long run.
Thank you. Ferris, I'm going to ask you a question too. Um, have you started looking into jobs? Are you thinking about what you would want to do in the field? If you are comfortable sharing any of your post-grad plans or thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's funny that these are all the kind of like examples, and I don't mean to shy away from them, but definitely in my post kind of career plans don't I mean project management definitely a little bit, but don't kind of align with where I'm like going. So I mean, being from like the DC area, like politics is like really big, like politics, the defense industry, and contracting are like kind of the big ones. So
Mhm.
there's some defense contractors, that's kind of where I've been looking, and then more on the kind of politics side, I guess it's less politics side, like we have the metro transit system, which is a subway system, bus system, and it also there's a bike network as well, like in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area that like I've also been applying for. So that's kind of where I'm maybe headed.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. Okay. So we do have time for questions before we move into the admissions process and funding opportunities. We have one question right now that says, what support exists for working students who need extra help with Python, SQL, or analytics concepts? So, Dr. Rumpel, is there extra support for people who might not have that background?
Uh, at the master's level, generally you work with the faculty member if you run into problems or issues. We also have access to a lot of, uh, let me say, uh, additional courses or tutorials that would allow you to learn. But the expectation is that you will work in conjunction with the faculty to identify the best way to get the additional help or yeah, support you need in order to learn those concepts.
Thank you. And another question is asking, how many hours per week should I realistically expect per course? So I'm assuming they mean outside of class time. How much time
Right.
should they expect to spend
I
doing
can
homework, doing
Yeah. So
projects?
Faris
Ferris,
should.
do you want to
Yeah, I
tell
can
us?
definitely I can definitely speak to this. I think it really comes down to what you I mean the cliche answer is like it however much time you want to spend.
Mhm.
But realistically per course, it depends on the course. Like last semester in our like code our more like code heavy like classes, like when we had like there I mean there's definitely some days where you go to class and there's nothing for you to do today. And then like the next day there's not like anything to do like in that class. So like, there's definitely periods, there's definitely days where like you're not really doing anything. And then when you are doing stuff, you can on like a coding project, you can definitely expect to spend, like 5 to 10 hours like on a given project. That might be over two classes. So, you might look at like 10 to 20 hours like in a week, like on a like really bad week. But otherwise, I mean, I'd say like right now in terms of like the first couple of weeks, in terms of like course load, in terms of reading, I mean, I'd say probably no more than 5 to 8 hours a week. That's like kind of all four of the courses combined.
Well, it's definitely going to
Right.
vary depending on if you have a big project versus maybe doing more like concepts.
Right. And the other thing I would add is uh, a lot of uh, okay, so a lot of time you would spend would be to kind of uh, depend on what you want to get out of these courses and what you want to get out of the program, right? So if you want to just get a decent grade in the class, if you want to learn, the bare minimum, then the time requirement is different. But if you want to really, really take advantage of, anything and everything that is offered, you know, you ultimately, what you get out of anything depends on pretty much the effort you put in. So there is the expectation of what you would do, but if you want to go beyond those expectations, then you would put in more effort, right? So that's my sense of it. So I've seen students who've done a lot, way beyond what was expected, but everyone does at least what is expected. And Ferris's observation is absolutely spot on with regards to that.
Thank you. Okay, so we don't have any more questions right now, but you can still send them in and we'll do some more at the end if we have any. So we're going to move forward and I'm going to talk about the admissions process and as well as funding opportunities that we have at SUNY Plattsburgh. So to apply for the data analytics program, you would start by going to our website and going to the graduate admissions page. We have a how to apply tab. And that way, that web page really walks you through every step of the process. But you'll start by filling out the application. And part of your application is naming people who can write you letters of recommendation. And they'll get an email prompting them to submit their letter. And you can submit your application. And then the second step is submitting your application materials. So for this program, that would be your resume, those letters of recommendation, which actually get submitted directly by your recommenders, your college transcripts. If you are a SUNY Plattsburgh student, we will get those from the registrar's office. If you're coming from another institution, you would just request those from your registrar's office. You'll also submit your statement of purpose, and that is a short statement, typically 250 to 400 words, where you're describing why you're interested in the field and why you'd be a good candidate for the program. There's also a course summary form that you would complete as part of the application process. And the course summary form lists some different classes that you would have done in your undergrad potentially. And it's kind of just giving the faculty an idea of what sort of related coursework you've already done. And then the GRE and GMAT scores are optional. You do not have to take either of those exams, but if you have and you have good scores, you can certainly send those in as part of your application. So this program starts in the summer only. As we mentioned earlier, it's available either at our main campus or online. Again, it's offered in high flex, so you can watch the classes live and participate via Zoom, or you can watch the recordings afterwards. And we have rolling admissions for this program, so that means that we suggest you submit your application and materials at least 6 weeks before the start of the summer term. So graduate school costs, these are all listed based on if you're a New York State resident, if you're doing the in-person program or the online program, and then also the out-of-state costs as well. So please take a look at that, and whichever applies to you would be reflected on your bill. And this is for one academic year, just so everyone knows. So this would be a fall and spring semester. So I'm going to talk about some of the aid opportunities available. There is federal aid, as well as some aid opportunities with a work obligation and aid opportunities that do not have a work obligation. This QR code will bring you to a webpage that is financial aid resources for graduate students, and it goes through all of these different opportunities. So firstly, is the FAFSA and federal aid. As a graduate student, you should still complete a FAFSA. Some things that are different regarding that and federal aid are that when you do a FAFSA as a graduate student, you are only using your own information. You would no longer use your parents' information. If you are married, you would include your spouse's. Another thing that is different is that graduate students do not receive TAP or Pell. But what you can qualify for is federal loans and also work study. So it is important that you still complete your FAFSA because it's likely that you might need to take out loans or you might qualify for work study and maybe have a job on campus that's funded through work study dollars. So we have a few aid opportunities on campus that require a work obligation. So the first is assistantships, and a graduate assistantship, um, there's two types of funding you get with that. You get a tuition waiver and you also get a stipend. And the work that you do would be either in an academic department or an administrative office. You can apply for those directly on your admissions application. And there's not a deadline. Those are rolling deadlines for those. All of the assistantship positions are listed on our website. So you would want to look at each position to see how many hours are required and to see what the work duties would be. Similarly, we have fellowships. Those fellowships are funded by work study dollars. So that's one where you would want to have your FAFSA done to see if you qualify for work study. Those positions all pay $20 an hour. And again, those are in different academic departments as well as administrative offices. All of those positions are listed on our website. So again, you would want to look at those and see what you might be interested in and what the work duties are for those. And the last one we have listed here is positions in the residence halls. So some people might have done this in their undergraduate years. You might have worked as a CA or a PA on campus. Other campuses might call them RAs or RDs. But if you're interested in living and working in the dorms, you can do that as a graduate student. You get your room or apartment for free. You get a discounted meal plan. And some of those positions are also listed as assistantships. So you could also get a tuition waiver with those as well. And we do note here, you can be in an online program and apply for any of these. You just need to be local enough to come to campus to fulfill those work obligations. And then these opportunities do not have a work obligation. So the first is the Diversity Fellowship. That's open to U.S. citizens who are going to be in their first year of graduate school. It's only available to first year students. This program obviously is based around diversity, but that's viewed very broadly. There's an application process where you would complete some questions, and it's asking about how you contribute to the diversity of the student body and the field that you're going into. And the application is found on our website, and it's due February 15th each year. And then the next opportunity we have is the Graduate Opportunity Program. This is intended only for EOP, HEOP, or SEEK graduates. So if you were in one of those programs as an undergraduate student, you can apply for that. That's a very simple application where you're just basically giving us your information and your EOP director's information so that they can verify that you were an EOP student. That application is also found on our website and is due February 15th each year. Okay, so that is our last slide. I have all of our contact information here if anybody feels like they need to reach out with any follow-up questions. And I don't see any other questions in our Q&A right now. So I think we might be all set unless something else happens to pop up. But I want to say thank you to Dr. Rumpal, Dr. Lee, and to Ferris for joining us. I appreciate everyone's input and expertise. Does anybody have anything that they would like to add before we sign off regarding the program or any advice for prospective students?
I would say if you are interested, make sure you apply well in time and reach out if you have any questions. We'd be more than happy to talk one-on-one with regards to the program itself. And if you have questions about the admissions process, reach out to Morgan and the graduate admissions office.
Perfect. Thank you. Anyone else?
I have nothing to add.
Okay. Thanks, Dr. Lee. All right. Well, I appreciate all three of you being here, and I appreciate everyone in our audience being here. And again, please feel free to reach out if we can help with any admissions questions or questions about the program. Hope everybody has a good night.